Sure.
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 It's just me and you, it looks like.
Oh my God. Season just texted me and said she's not coming.
What this brat? I almost said
Yes.
something else.
So she said make sure he hits record.
I just did. I don't know if it tells y'all. No, we got Debbie, Dale. What's up, Dale?
Hey, what's going on?
He doesn't like that nickname.
No.
Debbie, how are we feeling? I see you're getting some news tomorrow.
Exciting day.
Hey, Blake, can you take that to the other room? I'm feeling good. Yeah, I should. I'm excited to be here and be doing well. I'll be happy when I can get back to lifting now, but at least I'm running.
You went back to running first?
Yes, because of the liver test being so high with the muscle breakdown, and I'm running with my husband. He's not letting me out of his sight, right? I'm gonna have to graduate to that. He runs about a minute and a half slower pace per mile than me, so it's better than nothing.
Better than nothing. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. What else we got? What else is popping, y'all? How y'all doing on a step challenge? Because I dropped the ball on day 2 myself, or day 3.
It's hard.
It's hard.
I got off the one-on-one with you yesterday and I only had 2,700 steps. So I literally I walked on the treadmill for an hour to get my 10,000 steps.
You walk for an hour? Well,
I
that'll
did.
help.
I walked for an hour. I told you I was in it.
That'll help.
It was only day 3. Maybe at like day 20, I might be like, ah, forget this crap. But
Sue told me she wants to beat all of you.
yeah, coming after everyone.
You can see everybody's trackers. I'm at 69:37. I spent 3 hours in the car on the way to South Florida over my day and then sat in training. So that's super fun. I'm debating, do I go for a walk after this? Like walked over to Whole Foods. I'm like, they're buying. I just walk over to Whole Foods, get some steps in. But I feel a little lazy today. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little lazy. Didn't get my steps in. I missed it yesterday too by like 1,000 because we were watching Survivor and somebody told me I need to stop doing laps around the kitchen on commercial breaks. Don't judge me. Dale, how you doing on it? You're on mute. You're driving. I shouldn't call on him.
No, I'm not driving. I'm just sitting in the car. I'm in the parking lot at a lacrosse game that's in the lightning delay right now.
All right. I'm touch down on some stuff for you today too that you asked about that springtime weekend took me for a ride. How's everybody that did springtime feeling? Give me some springtime feedback. Yeah, Angela, you go press that mute button, girl.
I PR'd the 10K. Well, Angela and I both PR'd the 10K. We were so motivated to get off the damn course.
Why?
It's so hot. And we were running with our friend who broke no sweats throughout this entire like we at the end he's like, "Oh, I sweat so much." And he had like a little strip of sweat down his back and we're just like drenched.
I don't even want to think about the sweat right now. My traumatic story from that weekend is, did you see Adam's Incredibles outfit?
Yeah.
Yes.
That piece of work went into that Mrs. Incredible outfit, put 3 pads of butt pads in each cheek and blew up his butt, made it all looking like Miss Incredible, and realized he couldn't zip the thing himself, which was fine in the morning, but it was not fine after the first 3 miles. And the thing was soaked, and I had to grab this little Amazon bootleg zipper. And I was not here for it. We got towards the end, and I'm like, I have to go back into the bathroom after I do zip you up because my hands just feel disgusting with his filth. Dirty bird. What was your time
141 something?
on the 10 miler?
Oh, no, 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 no. On the 10K.
I was gonna sub like smoke my
We
ass.
didn't do the 10 miler.
That's right. You just went for Herc and then Universal.
Yep.
We did the 5K. We did Groot too.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
You were smart.
I
And
had
then
a little FOMO, like going into the weekend on the 10 miler, and then by the time like the 5K was done, I was like, I'm so glad that we are not doing that 10 miler. But I loved the course. That was the only reason I had FOMO. I was like, I loved the course that they had
Agreed.
laid out. And so, but that weather, man, I would have dropped.
it was so our goal was to move fast while it was dark. And that didn't happen because we just kept stopping for photos. And we were like dreading the sun coming up. And the sun came up and it got cooler. I totally forgot that that happens. So sun was out and we wrapped it up right around 8 a.m., which was like amazing to me because I just did a 2 hour and 14-minute half, 14 and change, half outside of Disney. And then a 10 miler at Disney took me every bit of 3 hours and change. And I was like, the math ain't mathin'. But there was photos, there was Adam's costume issues and struggles. It was, all the breaks. And then I jacked up my knee. Forgot to mention that part. That's important. So keep an eye when you're running, when the road meets the grass for tire tracks. Watch for the tire tracks as you go for the 7 mile sign and don't roll your ankle into rolling your knee before the last 3 miles. I finished, but I was an insufferable person to run with the rest of the way. There might have been a little whining.
Yeah,
Don't
I had my old like I have injured both my ankles, and during the 5K, my right ankle started to like it was like the sharpest pain I've had in a long time. And through the 10K, like miles 1 and 2 were fine. By mile 3, I was experiencing some discomfort, and by mile 4, it was the longest mile I've ever like traversed in my life. And so I think that might have been part of why I just like kept going is just to be done because I didn't want to get swept. But I was in so much pain. I did the 10K with my ankle brace on, and it like shot up like along the side of my leg and then down and under the arch of my foot.
uh
So I am waiting to hear back. I'm going to the doctor. It's a new doctor, so I sent all my information and they're gonna call me to schedule an appointment. But Angela kept like turning back just to make sure that I wasn't like lost in the crowd because I felt I was moving slower. Um, so like I could see her and my friend, and so I just kept seeing her like every time she was walking, just like turn back. We would make eye contact. We would keep going.
I mean, the best part was though that because I'm short, she was wearing the Hades ears, so we could like kind of pick her out. But the friend we were running with, he's like almost 6 feet, so he could see above everyone. So I was like, perfect. I just kept being like, "Do you see Alex?" And he's like, "Yes." And I was like, "Great." So yeah, it
yeah.
was it was hot.
Oh my gosh.
So we had the same sort of like plan though, which was to get as far and as fast, like as much done as we could before it got dark or before it got light.
All right. Yeah, I think that was a good plan. I think that was a good plan. But it cooled if you had done the so it got hot when you were running, or was it hotter during the dark?
Like, yeah, hot. Well, we finished the 10K just before like the sun came up like fully. Um, but it was really hot that day. So I don't know if it does get we were probably in the car on the way back to the hotel. Um, by the time that this cooling period after the sun comes up happened. Um, but you know what? Not worth the risk. We finished. It was like all my photos, you can see like exactly like how much I sweat because the bottom 2 inches of my shirt are the normal shirt color. Everything else is just darker blue.
It wasn't just you. It was everyone and their mother.
Not our friend.
Your friends
Not
have
our friend. He had the like smallest little like itty bitty piece of like sweat on his back and nothing else.
Your friends.
I'm salty as hell about it because he's just like fresh as a daisy. And to quote Angela, we look like drowned rats in all our photos.
I don't think you look like a drowned rat. Come on.
Oh, it was bad. It took 2 days for my clothes to dry after
Oh
the
my God.
10K. It was disgusting.
And y'all went and traipsed around Universal and ate butterbeer when you were done.
Not on 10K day. On 10K day, we went and met Sue at the Rise and Run meetup.
What did I do on 10K? Oh, I got roped
Sure
in
did. How come Tom wasn't at the meetup?
because it was Chris Turner's birthday and I got roped into him again. He's he's a bit of a diva. Is he on here? I should check these things before he's always invited, but he's a bit of a diva. So he couldn't yeah. One of these days I'm gonna make that damn meetup. If Bob doesn't hold it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at Disney Springs.
I mean, we showed up at like 3, so
Showed up at 3.
That's what time it starts, 3 o'clock. You were on time, Angela.
I would have been early.
we might have been, no, we might have been a little late.
We were a little bit late, but not by much.
We
We
missed
were
the
supposed to go to
photo.
the water park Sunday and they hit capacity, so that wasn't fun. Not fun at all. So Dale asked me, Dale's the only one that brings me questions ever. I don't even know if Dale's still here. And I can't even remember if Dale asked me about BCAAs or EAAs. And I will talk a little bit about both of those. And I took notes, made some notes that I can reference so my brain doesn't spiral after a long day. But does anybody take BCAAs or EAAs?
I think my recovery drink has BCAAs in it.
It probably does.
Yeah.
I have one mix with BCAAs, but I haven't started taking it.
All right. Nobody else? Do you know what it stands for?
Something amino acid. The branch chain? Is that what it is?
That's it. BCAAs are branched chain amino acids. EAAs are essential amino acids. So simply like BCAAs are only a few of them. EAAs are going to be the majority, all of them, like combined into one. But they're basically the building blocks of protein. So they act like a catalyst for everything, every chemical process in the body. They all serve different purposes. I took a bunch of notes and made sure I don't miss any of them. But like protein synthesis, muscle gain, brain function, regulating hormones, metabolism, and more. There are, I think it was 20 of them in total. But everybody's probably gonna like normal diet. You're probably gonna lack a decent amount of them just based on your food preference and different vegetarian, you're probably going to lack more of them than somebody that eats meat. So it's they're good to take in. Dale asked, is it worth it? Is it something I should put in? But they definitely help improve performance. So I would say EAAs are something I would get before I would get BCAAs because BCAAs are only 3 of them and EAAs kind of cover the gamut. So your body can't make the essential ones, essential amino acids on its own. So you got to consume them through food. The body cannot produce them. Meat, fish, eggs. I just had some eggs. And of course, amino acid supplements. So here's my notes. There we go. Most important ones that you're going to hear about, which are leucine. That one is crucial for protein synthesis. So your body needs that synthesized protein and it'll help with building muscle, blood sugar regulation, and producing growth hormone, which growth hormone decreases as you get older. So say I started working on a hormone thing I want to go over one of these nights. And I went down a rabbit hole and spent like 4 hours. And Kim told me to shut the computer, so I didn't get to finish that one. But that happens. I gotta watch out talking about her. I could put her on this invite too. Lysine's another one. Lysine plays a role in growth hormone secretion. So that's going to support muscle repair, supports recovery, all that fun stuff. And it helps with the structural proteins like collagen and elastin. So good for skin health, lysine, and good connective tissue. Another one, methionine. So that helps your body process and eliminate fat, promotes heart health, and supports the liver to eliminate toxins in the body. It's like, does anybody ever be honest? Has anybody ever done like a liver, like a detox? No? It's shocking. That's shocking. Angel's unmuting.
I've watched that documentary though, where they like you remember the juicing trend when that thing was like big?
Uh-huh.
I watched a documentary about it and it was like wild to me that these people would just juice everything and I just feel like, why don't you just eat it? Like it just seemed like so much effort and work.
I honestly think that's why I know I can like wade through a lot of the bullshit because I am guilty of like, oh, let me try that trend. That seems cool. I'll try that. And I was juicing stuff like, oh, I can get all the, I'm like, I eat these vegetables anyway. Why did I ask my mother for Christmas 10 years ago? She's like, what do you want? I'm like, oh, I want a juicer. And I had this big, stupid juicer in my kitchen that was such a nightmare to clean. And I was like, I used it 3 times. Used it 3 times and then I cleaned it and sold it on eBay to somebody else. Barely.
Don't get me wrong. I like juice and I like smoothies, but like I'll just eat a banana if I want one.
Your body has things that naturally detox you. So unless you're detoxing from like drugs or alcohol or anything like that, then you don't really need to go on a cleanse or a detox. Like you could jump into a fast from time to time if you want to just like kind of give your system a rest, but I'm not big on the juicing trend. But you have a liver. It's designed to help you, eliminate toxins. If you get enough methionine, I'm going to pronounce those wrong, then you should be good. Phenylalanine, pain killing and antidepressant effects. So if you're a little, sad, maybe a little antidepressant type stuff without taking a drug is probably going to be good. It's important for processing norepinephrine and dopamine. So helps the release of adrenaline and noradrenaline. And it's good for the healthy nervous system. That's important. Threonine, that's healthy metabolism and immune system. Like lysine, it's good for structural proteins and collagen and connective tissues. Does anybody know the Thanksgiving hormone? Or the Thanksgiving amino?
Tryptophan.
Tryptophan. I knew you would know that. You've been quiet tonight.
Yeah, I'm still waking up.
You're still waking up? You had the night shift?
No, I'm just dragging my ass lately.
All right. No dragging ass. Get some steps in, girl. Yes, tryptophan, which apparently Chris has had too much of. So tryptophan, it's found in turkey heavily. There's a good amount of it in turkey, so that's why people get sleepy on Thanksgiving, and also because overeating. But that's a precursor for serotonin, which helps you fall asleep, and it's also a precursor for appetite and mood. So another one with pain suppressing qualities, increases pain tolerance. So if you do hard workouts and you feel pain, like it's not like a painkiller, but it's kind of like painkiller, but a decent one without going that pharmaceutical route. Good if you do workout competitions or stuff, or maybe you just did a 10-mile or a 10K run that your body felt like shit after. Good to make sure you get enough of that. Another important one, isoleucine, helps prevent the muscle breaking down during exercise. So faster recovery, good thing. Valine stimulates muscle regeneration. So that's a big one why I take EAAs. Also important for immune function. I don't like being sick. Another good reason to get it. Energy production, hemoglobin production. And another important one, histidine. So that's a precursor to histamine, which helps the body respond to free radicals produced during exercise. So it's also a precursor to carnosine that turns lactic acid back into usable fuel and reduces soreness. That's enough notes. But those are the main important ones. So a lot of people just associate BCAAs with muscle group and performance enhancement. But BCAAs, I think I've taken them and not really noticed much of a difference. Sometimes I just like to sip it because it gets me through, and gets me through the gallon of water a day. So more important, I would say, are going to be the EAAs. Your body needs all 9 EAAs, and BCAAs only contain 3 of them. So that's kind of a big thing. Why take only 3 if you could be taking 9? So without having all the EAs, body breaks down the muscle. So then you got to kind of fill in the blanks and hope that you're getting enough in through the diet. So Dale, start taking them. Start with the EAAs. They will decrease the catabolic rate. So muscle breaking down, that's really an important one. You don't want to just keep breaking down and not building up. What else? What other notes did I have? Let me just moseying on through. I took too many. It's kind of going to bore you. I feel like it's too much information sometimes. I give too much information on it. But the good thing is, like, in sports performance with ECAs that BCAs can't do, it's like muscle maintenance. So leucine's a big one where it's been shown that it's crucial in promoting gains in fat-free mass and muscle mass. So you don't want to gain fat mass. You do want to gain a little bit of lean muscle mass. So having leucine, that full spectrum, helps preserve it. And especially, does anybody work out fasted? I know some of you have said yes to this before. You did?
Usually.
So you might benefit from something like that. It's like maybe sip on it while you work out to prevent that breakdown. And it's one where I think, because it's an amino acid and it's not like a pre-workout where they're throwing a bunch of crap in it. It's not one where you have to like, oh my God, I need this expensive brand that it's $90 BCAAs for 30 servings or EAAs for 30 servings. And they're, because they say the fitness industry loves like words, like big words, microhydrolyzed and all sorts of, they make so much crap up, gets my blood pressure going. Sometimes I walk into the GNC just for a laugh. Like, I don't think I bought anything at GNC in like 10 years. And I just walk in and there's somebody there trying to give information. And I just look at the bottles. Like, what the heck? What are they marketing now? Now it's all crazy market. I mean, it's always been like that. But also exercise recovery. This is like a big one. Supplementing the EAs after working out, increase that protein synthesis, grows the muscle mass, faster recovery, and less fatigue after training. I don't want to be bogged down after working out. Like, if a workout sucks the life out of me, and I see that with a lot of people, like, oh man, the workout kicked my ass and I was just on my ass all day. A lot of friends I have that do CrossFit and they're like, workout was so hard, I just sat on my ass the whole rest of the day. Like, who wants a 1-hour workout to just ruin their Sunday? Like, I don't want that. I want to be able to get up, and I got 2 days off. I want to be able to go run around Disney with the missus and not feel like trash and need to sit every 5 minutes. They also help with appetite regulation. So the right balance is going to just help with the hunger pains, and they're going to activate the right brain cells that regulate hunger and make you feel full. Tryptophan, definitely important for cognitive function. So especially with serotonin in there, super important for good sleep. And sleep trickles more of those hormonal things, which I'm going to have to book a 2-hour call and just take all your time if we're going to talk about hormones. So I could just go down that rabbit hole all day. I think hormones are so out of whack. See, I'm doing it. I'm just going down the rabbit hole right now before I said I would. Metabolic health. This is why, another reason, like huge reason. Hey, very important. Proper amount of amino acids, can increase the red blood cell count. It can lower fasting blood glucose levels, supports red blood cell formation, and improves glycogen stores. So another win. On the other side, too much, you can overdo it. So like, if you're somebody that's like, oh wow, these sound great, let me just, they're not that expensive. Let me just take like 3 servings a day. Things like leucine, too much can actually make your insulin spike. which is gonna break a fast if you're somebody who's fasting, and it'll mess with that. If you're somebody that does ketosis every once in a while, messes with that. But if it's not balanced, usually with the other amino acids, so that kind of helps. If they're all balanced, helps kind of buffer that response. So I wouldn't go, if you're taking BCAAs right now, I don't think there's a harm, bottom line, but I think going into EAAs might be you might find more wins there. Does that confuse people or does that help anybody that's wondered about that? I made you quiet. That means I just lost your brains. Sue's ordering them now.
Well, I have the BCAAs, like this one and I take it mainly because my husband takes it and he's like, oh, this will help. And it's got the leucine, isoleucine, valine, and glutamine in it. So
those are the BCAAs. Yep. Those are the ones you'll find in BCAAs. Leucine, isoleucine, valine. And I bought like when I was first getting, I had a very fit, healthy dad. He was jacked, and then I finally gave up, and I was like, you know what? After 25 years of him trying, I am gonna get into this gym thing. I'm gonna figure this out. And I see all these, he's got like these bodybuilding magazines, kind of like Sue and I talked yesterday, these freaking fitness influencers, right? And I see it was this guy. Man. Jay Cutler. He was the big guy at the time. You know who that is? How you know that? Not the football player that was married to what's her name?
the name sounds familiar, but like I used to buy like the fitness magazines and just try to go for them for inspiration. I stopped because it's just sad now, but the name sounds familiar.
Here we go. I found it. Oh my God, no, you can buy the book on Amazon. It's just, but it was that guy. My dad had magazines like this on magazines like that, and then he was sponsored by there's big old Gigantor. Thank God I didn't go that route and try to get that big. That would have been crazy. And disregard my Universal windows that you got to see, because I'm trying to convince the wife we need to go to Epic again before they open and at all costs. But he had all these magazines, and then he was promoting the big brand at the time. It wasn't Body Tech, it was something else. That'll come to me. But I was like, I gotta try that. So I gotta try those supplements. And I went in like 25-year-old kid, did not have money to go be buying these supplements. They didn't do jack. And it was 3 different bottles of all the amino acid, the BCAAs, 3 different big old bottles of them. And like now I could have just bought a bottle of BCAAs that is not nearly as expensive as they were. And Sue and I had that conversation yesterday where I was recommending, God, I go and check and make sure Kimberly's not on the call. And I was, Sue mentioned fitness influencers, right? Was that you mentioned fitness influencer? Who the hell was I on the call with? No, you were the only one I had a call with yesterday.
I don't know. We talked a lot about the sneakers yesterday.
We did talk a lot about the sneakers. Brain freeze. I talked to somebody yesterday. I thought it was you. Because I mentioned Kimberly was in the other room. But now I figured it out. I did have a call right before you. You're right. It blended right into yours, which was only Disney. And yeah, but I had been telling her to take creatine for like 3 years, especially more so when she was vegetarian, when she was vegan. I'm like, it's going to fill in some of those gaps. It's going to fill in some of the gaps. Just take creatine. And for months did not listen. I told you I was trying to like spike her food with creatine at one point. And finally, some freaking lean shredded girl on Instagram does like a video, and she's like, Oh my God, guys. So I started taking this creatine and look at me now. And I just feel great and I look great, like totally freaking bubbly and all the filters on her. And I'm like, she's doing a lot more than creatine, hun. Like, but what ended up in that exact brand of creatine from her affiliate link ended up in my kitchen. And I'm like, I'm like, there's no special ingredients in here. It is It is freaking creatine monohydrate in gel form. All they did was turn it into a gel and a single serve packet and cause you to put me into debt. And and yeah, that was the extent. I'm like, I could have bought you a $20 on Amazon, 300 servings, and we could have called it a day. But when I recommend it, no, when the Miss Fitness Influencer girl recommends it. So yeah, that was yeah. They try to push stuff on like big time. Certain, I'll tell you, I've tried a good amount of supplements. Creatine, very good, but like even pre-workout, I've replaced that in my now coffee. I'm good. I'm good. A couple extra other things. I like the Arginine just because it gives you a little pump feeling, but like a lot of it's all marketing. A lot of it's all marketing. That's my supplement rant of the day. What else should we go on about? So you did ask me about rep ranges. Did ask me about rep range. My memory still works. It still works sometimes. So your question was, what can you because I feel like somebody else will benefit from that. Can you hit me with that one?
Yeah, so my question was, because I know you had talked about this in the past. I go and go into the app and I see like a 12 to 15 rep range. And you had discussed this before and I was very confused because like just wrapping my head around the weights and moving up the weights but doing less reps. And then what happens if, I can only do say 10 pounds and do 12 reps. So I was a little, and I couldn't wrap my head around like, wait, I go up and then I do less reps, but it says 12 to 15,
I got you.
if that makes sense.
I got you. I got you. So yeah, how do you go up? When should you increase? What does that look like? All that fun stuff. Let's go take a look. Make sure this is a good one. Now I always I'll preface this, especially when like changing changing phases and switching things up a little bit. Well, I was reading the chat for a second, changing things and like switching things up. So I came back obviously from springtime this weekend. My schedule's been a little wonky. Schedule's been a little wonky. So I came in a new progression I had worked on and a new set of rep ranges. So I was like, all right, my body is still a little beat down, worn down. I took Monday off. Then I did Tuesday with a little pushing workout, and then Wednesday was a little pulling. Today ended up being an unplanned rest day. Not happy about that. Well, let's look at mine. Let's look at mine and just walk on through it. It's easy when I do this. Man, I can't pull that. It goes over my Helios Grand chat again. Let's just zoom. So I went a little lighter, don't judge me, but I went into a little higher rep scheme, which 10 to 15 reps. I did a little warm up prior to this. So I didn't start there. I did a warm up with the bar. Then I did a warm up with 25. So that's 95 pounds. I did about 15 to 20 reps there. I felt like I was good moving. Said I haven't done this at a high rep count in a while. My body's still a little knocked out. So I tried 135. I got all 15 reps up. Again, I was a little tired that day. I upped it to 155, went up to 15. Okay, that was still good. I put another two tens on there, 175. I got all the way up to 185, and I can only get 12 out. So for this particular exercise, the next time I would probably, when I go back to it, I would actually probably start at 135 again, just because I'm still getting a little warm, still getting a feel for it. But I would jump to either 175 or potentially how I'm feeling that day, jump right to 185. And I bet at that 185, I could probably get the 15 out if I did 185 on set two. And then I might have tried to go to 205 here and maybe only gotten like 12 or 13 out and then hit 12 with maybe 225 there. That's how I plan out the next one after that. And it was the same thing here. I'm very careful after a race weekend. This wasn't a lying T-bar row. It was a T-bar row without the chest support. So I knew my back was feeling a little wonky. So we started out with 90. I got all 12 out. But these high rep ones, they freaking gas me out. I we could put a good amount of weight on there and I can go 3 to 4, 3 to 5 and be fine. But you give me 20 reps and I'm like, I hate my life. I hate my life. I'm dying. So I started 90 there, felt good. I only put a 25-pound plate on the end of that thing, and my reps started to fall short. So I knew I was moving in the right direction, but I still got out 17 clean and I felt good. So I bumped it up again by another 25, and I struggled to get those 15 out. I would probably I'll probably start at this one now on, when I repeat this workout, I'm going to start it at 115, see if I can go a little further with the reps when I go up to 140, and then do that same thing, maybe go up to 150, 160 on the next time, see if I can get the 15 out. And if by this set, so I know I got 20 here, I know I got 17 here. If by this set, I only got like 11 or 12 out, and I was like, oh, I'm done, I'm toast, I might just stick with this next time. So I missed the mark here. I only get 12 reps in, 13 reps in. Say, all right, I'm going to go for 20 here just to get it going, get my full rep count in. Second set, I'm going to attempt to get the 20 out. Third set, I'm going to attempt to at least get that 15 out. Try to squeak a couple more. And even if I only get 18 here, that is still progressive overload. I've still added overall volume to that workout that day. Same thing going on here. Here's one where I really felt a drop off. I hit 120 here. No problem. I felt real good. Felt real good with those 20 reps. I bumped it up by 20 pounds, and there was a significant drop off where I got those 15 out, and then I was just like, I am torched. I don't know if my grips were just done from the other exercises. I scaled it back at that point to try to get more reps out on the next one. So it's okay to go backwards too. I went down by 10 pounds and I still only got 15 reps out and was like, damn, and that actually included like a rest pause. So I took about 15 seconds, potential spam calling again. I took about 15 seconds after the first 10-ish reps and I just like held the bar and just kind of let things rest. And I was like, all right, let's see. I looked at the watch. I was like 15 more seconds. I went for another couple. This is actually a good example workout to use because it's got drop sets too, which I think a lot of, drop sets are tricky. Drop sets can be tricky and they should be done fast and not full breaks in between. But knocked out 150 for 10 reps, which was actually, so I chose that weight because reps here, 15 to 20. Well, I got 15 out at 140. I'm like, I could go a little heavier, but I hit 150 here for 10 and I was already smoked. I was gassed and like done. So then I went into the second drop set, 25 to 50. My math wasn't mathing. So 50% of that weight would have been 75 pounds. I took a substantial drop out and went down to 100. 25% of that weight. Nope, that would still been lower. So I took 50 off, was able to get out 8. Then I took another 30 off, got out another 10. I was burning. I felt that. And I actually can, when I do this today, I can still feel it in the lats. So I know it worked. I know it was effective. I don't feel like dead there. It's not DOMS. It's not delayed onset muscle soreness where I'm like, oh God, I just can't do it. But when I move, I'm like, I did get a good workout from that. Shrugs, that was another one. With this one, I was concerned more so with the grip because I'm good. I'm good in that range to 105 to 125 pound dumbbells. I'm good for like 5 or 6 of them with the heavy ones, but I'm like, I don't know how long I can hold a pair of 70-pound dumbbells, but the 70s were good. Went up, did it. That felt fine. And I was like, yeah, oh, I know what happened there. Some guy decided to work out right behind me after that, and I turned around and almost bumped into him. And I was like, that's it. Jim Eagle came out and I grabbed the 105s after that and told him basically without telling him to get the heck up out of my zone. So substantial drop off on the reps there. Substantial drop. But that's okay. It's okay. I was still able to squeak 15 out. And then I'm in the same thing with the curls, 45, 65, 75. I was trying to cut the rest time down here, 30 to 60. I wanted to see what that difference was. 30 freaking burned. I struggled to get out that weight. And I was like on fire by these. That was fun. And the incline bicep curls, those were good. I don't do them often enough. Similar deal. Similar deal. I played with the cables after that. Regretted that this morning. But this is my dashboard. I did not track anything today. We don't want to know. You don't want to know what I didn't track today. I was good. I stopped at Whole Foods and charged a whole bunch of stuff to their credit card, made me come down here at the last minute. So, yeah, does that kind of give you a little clarity? Yeah, just a little bit. So now you're going to grab a 185-pound barbell?
Oh yeah, totally. I can do it.
You could do it. Your husband's a little fast, man. He's like Speedy Gonzalez.
My husband?
Yeah.
He's probably about a 10-minute average pace.
He looked like he was moving fast.
Yeah, I don't run with him.
He was like, hey, I know you. You know my wife. Take a picture with me.
Yep. Got that. Got that while I was on the course. I was like, of course he did.
I usually get that from men on the course. Hey, can I my wife follows you. Can I get a picture? She's gonna crack up that I saw you. I was getting that from women a lot on the course. Oh, my husband follows you, loves your stuff. And I was like, all right, this is weird. You're sending your husband a picture of a shirtless man, but okay. I'm down. I support it. We're having fun out here.
Well, God's creatures, Tom. We don't judge.
I told you there was some judgment out there. Judgment. They're crazy. Angela said if I can't get my wife to go to Epic, I'm free to fly down for entrance before the park opens. So she's on muting for that. She's like, I'm good. Let's go. I'm coming.
Hey, I have airline miles, and I can use them if I'm getting a free or if I'm getting entrance to Epic, like before the park opens and mass amounts of people come in. I am willing to sacrifice some airline miles.
Do you want to know the story? I'll tell you what happened. So 2 days ago, they announced the hotel guests were getting into the park. Like you have an opportunity to buy park tickets if you're staying at the hotel, right? For starting April 16th. They're opening the Helios and they're opening all the hotels early. And they announce it. And I'm like, shits and giggles. Let's just go look because Helios is going to be super expensive. How much do you think it was a night?
300
for their new signature hotel.
Oh, for Helios. Sorry, I was thinking of like their normal one. Probably closer to 5 or 6, like contemporary or.
So it was 300, and I'm like, well, I didn't get her an anniversary gift, and she's been talking about like a staycation. We could swing $300. I mean, that's those nice people at Chase are for, and Visa people. Like we do a little $300 trip, staycation. And then I slept on it. And then I woke up the next day and the exact same room was $850. And I did that exact face Sue made. It was like I should have just booked that shit. And then I did what any safe person does at 6 o'clock in the morning while I was driving down to South Florida this morning. I checked again while I was driving and it was back down to 300. And I was like, let's attempt to buy while I drive. Let's attempt to do that. So I end up just booking the night there. I don't even know if we're getting to the park. And then I'm like, I shouldn't surprise her. I should just let her know because that'd be good. She goes, you son of a bitch. And she shared her screen with me. She was doing the same thing. And I'm like, thank God. I said, thank God I have a big mouth. She goes, now I have nothing to surprise you with for the anniversary. I'm like, no, you can buy us park tickets for that day now. Now that we can get in, you pay for the park tickets and we'll call it a day. So I'm going back.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I didn't get to ride the Harry Potter ride last time.
I want no spoilers.
They're not out there.
Oh no, poor you. You've been to a park that hasn't opened twice.
Well, I've only been once at this point.
Going twice.
But if you just moved down here and you got out of Podunk living in the middle of the cold, then you could come hang out.
I did. I did live down there. I lived in Florida for 3.5 years.
So move on back.
You must be joking.
You don't like the heat?
I don't mind the heat. I was born and raised inside heat. If I died and went to hell, I would not know the difference. And that is where I'm going. Um, but it maybe it's just because it was South Florida. There is like the very like judgmental part of me that I try to bury deep down into the depths of my soul. Just wonders if the heat has just melted the important parts of some people's brains. Because I mean my job there was its own issue, but I struggled so much. Like maybe it's because I was in West Palm. Um, so like maybe it was just a location issue, but every time someone like I still have friends from back there that will like occasionally message me and they're like, "What would it take to get you back?" And I was like, "A six-figure salary minimum." Like it would take so much to get me back there. I don't know what it was. I love visiting. I always have a good time when I visit and like I'm there for like short periods of time. But the 3.5 years I was there were rough for me.
I would never live in South Florida.
Okay, so it was a location issue.
I would never. It's usually like once a month, once every other month that they wrote me into coming down here, and I despise it. I despise it.
Like I never worked out outside because it was always too hot, and I
That's all
always
right up
like
there.
I always struggled. Like I've had Planet Fitness membership for as long as I can remember, since like grad school. Um, and I like would it was the closest one was maybe like a 10-15 minute drive from my apartment. And it always took me 30 to 40 minutes to get there unless I went at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a travel assignment in Miami. I was about 9 miles away, and if I didn't leave at 6:15 a.m. for a 7 o'clock start, I wasn't getting there on time.
You, you're 100%. The girl that's running this training that wrote me into coming down here, she was like, she told the team today that we'll be done at noon, and I cried inside because I was dreading. I was thinking like, oh my God, well, I'm gonna leave at 4 o'clock and sit in that crap leaving South Florida on a Friday afternoon. She said, she goes, we're gonna get out of here at noon, and I'm like, oh, the car is starting at 12:01. The car,
It's still gonna suck.
it's still gonna suck, but it's not gonna. If I can hit, if I can hit like my area in Orlando before well, I'll still hit school traffic. Like after the high school, but before the middle school traffic, I'm gonna be golden. If I get home at 3:30, I'll be happy. I'm actually when I'm done with like hanging out with all of you, I'm gonna leave and go get gas so I don't even have to stop for gas on the way out tomorrow. I want to be fueled up. I want to be in the car like, bye, bon voyage. Thanks for having me for 18 hours and it's been real. They got it's just weird down here. I don't even like going to the gas stations because the South Florida druggies scare me. If anybody on the call lives in South Florida that's not here and is listening right now, I apologize. I hope you enjoy your place, but it's just not for me. It's not. I'm not about that life.
Yeah, I had the worst. I used to commute from Miami to West Palm my first 3 months there before I bought a car. I used to take the my God, what's it called? That commuter train that stops in West Palm. It goes from Miami to West Palm. That's the
What,
last stop.
the Sunrail,
The Tri-Rail, the
the
Tri-Rail.
Tri-Rail.
My first 3 months, and I had one of the worst experiences on that train. Like I bought a car before I was ready to buy it because I could not get on that train again. Um, my first week of work, I was 3.5 hours late because someone jumped in front of the train.
Telling you, it's not right down here. Not
I have horror stories. There's one like I don't know, I don't think it's even like appropriate, but like I basically got to West Palm and I called the cops.
I thought you were gonna say, I don't even know if this story is appropriate, but here we go. And you were just gonna tell us all this like wild story. Like we
I don't know if how people are gonna feel about it. I don't want to cross any lines
Oh my
yet.
God. Okay, DM me and Sue the story.
But it was
Yeah.
like I literally got off the train. I went to the security guard, told him what happened, and then immediately like booked it because I had to walk up to the PD, booked it up. And the first police officer I saw as I was walking in, I was like, hey, this just happened on the train.
Nope.
And they had to send someone down to like see if, what they could do about it. And then it happened 3 more times.
Nope. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Like I had a rough time in Florida. I was depressed for the last year and a half, almost 2 years. Granted, and apologies to anyone who is in law enforcement or works or is married to a law enforcement officer, but working with law enforcement officers, like directly in the same place as them, took a huge toll on me. Florida is just, it's one of those places where I'm like, that meme of Bugs Bunny cutting it off and like it floating off into the Atlantic? Anyone ever see that?
No.
I was the one sharing that consistently in a room full of Florida natives.
You're wild. All right. In less Florida psycho talk, what's everybody's goals for the upcoming week? Now that no one's got, does anybody have races coming up? It's like,
I have one at SeaWorld tomorrow. Saturday.
you don't want to SeaWorld?
Yep.
You told me that. It's the Seven
Seven
Seas.
Seas. Mm-hmm.
We have a 5K on Sunday.
5K on Sunday? Where?
Here. It's a local race. Well, they have it throughout, but you get a donut at the end.
The donut at the end. Oh my God.
And then we have the Des Moines Women's Race 5K in May.
All right.
That's in May. First weekend of May.
I signed up. I was pulling a Sue and having some beverages after the 10K, and one of my coworkers sent me, they're like, we need help at this race. Can you come support the race? And I'm like, does it come with a free bib? I'll go if I get a free bib. I'll even do like the whole marketing thing for you. I'll wear the orange tutu and the orange morph suit. I'll come. I'll commit to it. So they sent me a code for a free bib and I signed up. And now after like 3 hours in the car today and 3 hours in the car tomorrow, I just think I'm not doing it Saturday. I'm like, I didn't pay for it. I got a free bib. I think I'm just going to pull out of this race and just, it's the Orlando Monopoly Run half marathon. I don't even know what a Monopoly Run is. Come on. 5K series, third thirsty. That's a mouthful. Third Thirsty Thursday starts next week. What the heck is that? 5K third.
You get a free beer at the end.
Okay.
That
That's
already sounds
actually
like
how
a
I
great
started.
race.
Right? I actually didn't really drink much beer until I started doing that race. How's that?
I'll give you that.
Yeah. You'd probably like it, right?
Yeah, I'll sign up for that.
Yeah.
Crystal City Sports.
Yep.
Oh, this sounds fun.
So there's one every month till, what is it, Dad? October? October's the last, yeah.
That's what I think. I need some short ones just to stay consistent over the low. You know?
See, my dad, he's a rock star here. 81 running 5Ks.
Hell yeah. I love it.
And 5 mile on Sunday.
5 miler?
On Sunday.
Yeah, he's doing.
Don't disrespect him. You said 5Ks. He says, no, I got a 5 miler Sunday, girl.
I know. He's upping it.
I've been trying to convince my mom to run a 5K at Disney with me for God knows how long.
I've been trying to get him to come, and I want him to wear a shirt that says, "Why are all these princesses chasing me?"
That would be fantastic.
I can't get him to Disney.
That would be fantastic. So you're doing the Bronx Zoo 5K?
Yeah, I've been doing that every year with my daughter since it's at least 10 years.
You,
It's probably my most expensive race next to Disney
well, how
because
much is it?
you have to fundraise for it. It's like like $40 I think to register, and then you have to fundraise either 35 or $40.
I was born in the Bronx and I grew that was like my school field trip zoo until we moved to Connecticut.
Well, you know, I live right by the George Washington
Yeah.
Bridge. I'm like right there.
I grew up at that damn zoo. I would go do a 5K there.
Yeah, you do the 5K in the morning, and then you get to spend the day in the zoo the rest of the day. And they do stuff. One year they had like a silent disco. They've done Zumba. They've done yoga. They have games for the kids. Like it's really nice.
This is only $95. That's not that bad. I mean, for a 5K, actually, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a 5K.
But yeah, you know what? I'm thinking like 95 for a half marathon. That's not terrible. No, 90, that's a good amount. Hey, if you're a member of the zoo, though, you can do it for $80 and only have
Yeah.
to fundraise 35.
Yeah. So, but like I said, it's kind of a tradition for Jillian and I. We've been doing it every year since she was, I guess, 10, 11. So, and this is probably our last year since we're moving. So, got to do it.
I wonder if my cousin does that. Because she lives in the Bronx and she takes all the kids over there all the time. So she might do that.
And it's kind of neat because you see some of the workers there, like they have that show on, what is it, Animal Planet, the Bronx Zoo show, where they do all the backstage stuff. You know, oh, the tiger is sick, you know, so we took them to the doctor, like that kind of, you know, veterinarian stuff. It's pretty neat. So then you're like, oh, I saw that guy on TV.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I would go do that. That's the only reason I want to get into New York. Like I talked to during race week and I talked to Coach Twigs and was asking him like I I can push people on weights all day and nutrition all day. I'm like faster running. I want to have somebody to hold me accountable for that. So I'm like I'm gonna bug you. So I said I want to get a pace where I can get into New York. I mean, I probably get into New York and feel confident doing it and be able to enjoy it. Like, I want to get that kind of marathon under my belt. Because why not run all and then well actually you'll have moved by the time I get in, Sue.
There's so many hills in New York. Like I did the Brooklyn half last May, and I go, where did all the hills in Brooklyn come from?
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
So many hills. And then the bridges. So I'm good with not running up and down bridges.
Bro, I don't mind that. Well, I don't mind a little bit of hills. I don't mind that. What was I just gonna say? Oh yeah. So speaking of you, that lady messaged me back about the the California race. So it's a $1,500 charity requirement for the challenge, and she'll knock 250 off. So I don't
So you
have
do it?
1250.
You can
I
do
gotta
it.
message her back. Well, 1250 means I gotta raise 2,500 because I'm obviously gonna sign Kim up for it too and really upset her. Is anybody else going out to Halloween?
Nope.
No. We got a place to stay out there for free, so I don't have to worry about that. It's just them damn flights to get me.
That's why I have my husband. He figures things out like that. We
And
usually we don't stay usually at the Disney hotels. And DVC, it's so hard to get a room there, so we always wind up
Disney
staying
hotel?
outside.
Too much.
Yeah.
I have
I'm like,
not. What?
I was gonna say, I'm one Telegram message away from like these Disneyland ones where it's like, because I keep getting, I don't know if anyone else does, but I keep getting Telegram messages like today and yesterday for Disneyland Halloween. And I'm like one more Telegram message away from just like trying to sign up for that half. And I've been trying so hard not to.
That's what we're talking about. I found a charity yesterday that opened up bibs, and she knocked 250 off what their asking was. But
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it for a charity because that's way too much money. Like, not to say that running for a charity is bad. Like, if I had the money, I would do it, but I don't want to like ask friends and family to like fund that. So
it's a lot. I'll usually do like I'll just like post it on like social media and hope people are going to do it. I'll usually volunteer to do something stupid. Like one year I rode a marathon. I rode a full marathon for charity and like live streamed it and it had people like if you want to donate while I'm doing it. effing nightmare. Biggest rowing a half marathon would have been a challenge, but you don't realize sitting on a rower for 6.5 hours, your ass goes numb. Pardon my language. You're sitting there and your whole butt just goes numb, going back and forth. And then my wife was watching and she's like, yeah, you got to that final 500 and your entire face went white. Oh no, it was the final 1,000 meters. And she's like, your face went completely white. And I started having concerns. That's when I drove over to the studio. I was like, I didn't die, but I did get a little marathon flu after. That was gross. Not fun. Denise, I have not done the Give Kids the World gingerbread run. Are you signed up for that?
I'm not, but it looks really neat because it goes through their lights at night.
We only went to Give Kids the World once during the holiday thing, but it is fantastic to go see that.
Yeah, it's tempting.
If you do that, if you end up signing up for it, let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much it is. I got to check out what the registering. Maybe I was thinking even if I could sign up, and if for some reason like my daughter's field hockey team makes like states or whatever, that would be that weekend most likely. I think you might have the ability to switch virtually too. So I was going to
My
check.
family and I did it last year. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
Your husband got to stop trying to roll me into getting up with him on a Saturday morning to run with him. He's a bad influence.
He didn't do that race because he was in South Africa doing that 100-miler.
What a lunatic. He crazy. I love it. What should we chat about next Thursday? Anybody, nobody's got anything they want me to cover.
Can we talk about like techniques to like stay like I guess not motivated, but like consistent?
Oh, hell
Because that's
yeah.
been my struggle. Like this week has been really long for me. So I'm getting my steps in. I'm like going on walks and stuff, but I haven't hit the gym for weights this week. It's also my first week back after vacation, which always kind of throws everything into disarray. But
I can feel you on that. So with the last comment, I said just give yourself grace because just Monday after I was like, nope, not happening. Did work out Tuesday and Wednesday. And then today I just got sideswiped with this whole thing. And I get it. I will definitely cover that. But like also give yourself a little breather. You just got back from a trip. It's hard bouncing back after a trip. So I will dial into that. And if anybody else comes up with a topic before I do next week, let me know. But that'll be a big talking point. With that, I'm going to eat this Whole Foods that's been sitting and staring at me for the last hour. Everybody have a fabulous night and make good decisions.
Bye.
Bye.